Hello and welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts at the end of the video. Finally, we get someone to say it as it is. Now, in this video, a brother shares how tired he is with Zionists always calling on black and brown people to join them in supporting the oppressor. Now, they're always wondering where black and brown people are at in supporting Zionism, but it is true that black people are tired of being picked up and put down for people's interests while never having ours met. This is very much evident with what happens every 4 years in America. Black and brown people are taught to get out and vote. Black people literally have to do the work, and essentially it feels like black people are supposed to do the work for palm color people so that they could feel good, but end up putting black people down and discarding them. Now, this is really an interesting video, so stay glued as I play you a brother's video.
You know, I've heard and seen all these crazy Zionist white women showing their ass and aligning themselves with white supremacy. And I've seen and heard them, and I think one of the most upsetting things to me is that they're calling on black and brown people to join them, and they're wondering where black and brown people are at in supporting Zionism. And I think what angers me the most is that I'm tired, and forgive me, black and brown people, if I'm speaking up for too many people, but I'm pretty sure I could speak for a lot of people when I say we are collectively tired of being picked up and put down for people's interests, while never having ours met, while never having our needs acknowledged or embraced. I'm tired of black and brown people being called upon to do the work as if black women haven't always been doing the work already, right? I'm tired of people expecting us to just jump on board or call us to vote or just get out in the streets and protest, but we don't get that energy. It's insulting. I'm tired of being placated with empty symbolic gestures. I'm tired of black and brown communities being infiltrated and trying to infiltrated by people who are actively seeking to cause division. First of all, I'm surprised whenever I see a black and brown person aligned with Israel, right? That's first, I'm surprised. Disappointed, but not surprised. There are some people out there. But I will never be on the side of the oppressor. For anybody. Not the Congolese, I will be on the side of the oppressed. So I will be on the side of the Congolese, the Palestinians, the Yemenians, the Armenians, and the South Sudan, and everyone who's being oppressed. I will always be on the side of the Haitians. I'm on the side of the oppressed because I recognize that freedom is collective, and that if one of us are free, then that stands to bear hope and bear fruit that we will all be free one day, and that we must not rest until we are all free. But yet, every 4 years in America, black people or brown people are told to get out and vote. Black and brown people are told to do the work. Do the work. Essentially, it feels like black and brown people are supposed to do the work for white people so they could feel good, and then they put us down and they discard us and they don't look back at us until they need something again. And it gets exhausting being the person that people come to when they need something, and that you don't feel like you have anywhere that you can go when you need something. So yeah, I'm on side with everyone oppressed out in the world. Everyone. I don't care if they're racist towards black people. I don't care, because there are some things that are bigger than race. And I know that in America we're conditioned and we see, and it's reinforced all the time, that race is such a big thing. And it is. But there are some things that are bigger than race, like humanity. And I'm on side of the humanity of people who don't lie, right? I'm on the side of humanity who doesn't manipulate the facts and spread propaganda. I'm on the side who does not carpet bomb and use white folks. I'm on the side of humanity where people really just want to survive. They just want to live in peace. Bro, I can't imagine what Palestinians are going through. And I'm black in America. And I'm telling you, I can't imagine what Palestinians are going through. Dog. I couldn't imagine having my doors welded shut. I couldn't imagine walking outside my apartment and looking in the sky to see when another airstrike is coming. I couldn't imagine thinking something's a bird, it's a drone. I couldn't imagine having my streets be patrolled by Zionists. I couldn't imagine that. I don't know, man. I'm just more so tired of people calling on black and brown people for the most ridiculous efforts. And they expect us to jump at the opportunity to help people accomplish something that they want to accomplish. That's insane to me. That, as a black person in America, it's insane that Democrats, Republicans pander towards black and brown votes, right? And I'm never gonna like make Cubans seem innocent because they align themselves with white supremacy, as do several other, wonderful Latin American countries. But that's not my point. I'm just saying that I'm tired of being pandered to while never actually helping eradicate the systemic violence, the systemic oppression, the systemic segregation of domestic and abroad. There is no actual real change. There is no actual real change happening. And right now, what excites me the most about Palestine, what excites me the most about everything, is that we are really making noise right now. Boycotting, divesting. I haven't gone to McDonald's. I mean, I never really went to McDonald's in the first place, but like, I haven't gone to McDonald's. I haven't gone to Starbucks. I haven't gone, hopefully, to anywhere that's really, aligning themselves with Zionism. Anyways, I'm sorry. Just had to get that off my chest. But free Palestine and free Congo and free Armenia and free Haiti and free Sudan and free Tigray. Free everyone who's currently being oppressed. And we should all get behind that.
Zionism is a movement for the re-establishment and now the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. It was established as a political organization in 1897 under Theodor Herzl and was later led by Chaim Weizmann. Now, as the Israel-Hamas war continues, there's been a lot of discussion around Zionism. Put simply, Zionism is a nationalist movement that advocates for a homeland for the Jewish people in the biblical land of Israel. It is the organization of ideas that actively sought and achieved the existence of the Israeli state in 1948. Basically, political Zionism underpins the country we today call Israel. It's a movement that encompasses a broad spectrum of political beliefs with common objectives at its center. But perhaps more than other political movements, Zionism has evolved over time. Now, there are biblical underpinnings to Zionism, as religious Zionists often reference God promising the land of Canaan to Abraham and his descendants, the Israelites, and renaming it the land of Israel. For various reasons, Jews decided to relocate to Ottoman Palestine towards the end of the 19th century. The first mass migration, known as the first Aliyah, occurred between 1882 and 1903. Between 15,000 and 25,000 Jews migrated, essentially doubling the region's Jewish population at the time. However, the beginnings of modern Zionism are secular and constructed through political philosophy. Although many Zionist ideas predate his works, Theodor Herzl is considered the father of modern Zionism, as he was the first to set out its political aims clearly. Now, over the decades, Zionism has changed considerably as new political questions raise themselves. With the state of Israel established, what should the state look like and how should it protect itself from its foreign adversaries? One of these questions is, how should Zionism respond to Palestinian self-determination? Now, the annexation of the West Bank by Jordan and Gaza by Egypt after the War of Independence seemed to answer this question in the short term. Israel offered citizenship to some Palestinians who make up just under 20% of Israel's population today. They are Israel's largest minority and have often struggled with political representation and socio-economic outcomes. But Israel's swift defeat of Jordan, Syria, and Egypt in the 1967 Six-Day War changed political realities again. Israel took control of the West Bank and Gaza, along with the millions of Palestinians living there, but they were not offered citizenship. This has left the Palestinians stateless. Now, this raised the question that has still not been adequately answered today. Does an effective application of Zionism mean statelessness for Palestinians? There are different schools of thought on this. For liberal and modern labor Zionists, factions that include members of the Yesh Atid party and the late former Prime Minister Ben Gurion, the answer is no. They implicitly reject the idea that Palestinian and Jewish self-determination are at odds with one another. For them, a political solution to the conflict is essential. For a long time, they advocated for a two-state solution, the creation of a state of Palestine, completely independent from Israel. The Palestinian Authority would transition into a state government with sovereignty over its land. But some liberal Zionists have abandoned this idea, stating the only sustainable option to offer party and the late former Prime Minister Ben Gurion, the answer is no. They implicitly reject the idea that Palestinian and Jewish self-determination are at odds with one another. For them, a political solution to the conflict is essential. For a long time, they advocated for a two-state solution, the creation of a state of Palestine, completely independent from Israel. The Palestinian Authority would transition into a state government with sovereignty over its land. But some liberal Zionists have abandoned this idea, stating the only sustainable option to offer Palestinians equal rights and citizenship in Israel, changing the idea that home of the Jewish people must be a Jewish state. Now, this form of Zionism has become the dominant form in Israeli politics today. Under Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this approach has transcended rhetoric and become legislation in Israel's nation-state law of 2018, which legally enshrines unique Jewish sovereignty in the state of Israel and settlement as a national value. Now, it is this kind of Zionism that has informed Israel's response to Palestinian action, both political and violent, for decades. It has attempted to justify the blockade of Gaza, the forcible transfer of Palestinians in the West Bank, bans on political speech, mandatory detention without trial, and disproportionate violence as policy solutions to Israeli-Palestinian tensions. Now, this is what Zionists want black people to support. This just shows how black people are picked up and put down for people's interests while never having ours met. Like, it's black people to always do the work. Talking about voting in America, already Democrats are worried that a lack of enthusiasm among black supporters could harm President Joe Biden's re-election chances, as well as their goal of holding on to their Senate majority and retaking control of the House of Representatives. Now, the Washington Post reports that party leaders base their fears on the 10% drop in black voter turnout in the 2022 midterm elections compared with 2018, which marked the largest decline among all racial or ethnic groups. Now, despite black people being the majority of people who vote during elections, like, what is there for the black community to enjoy after elections? Kindly share your thoughts on what you think about this video in general in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.